fictional city of Falkenheim, where Nazi Germany is beginning to collapse, is home to Jojo, a 10-year-old boy who keeps Adolf Hitler as his imaginary friend, but can't even tie his own shoes. He's a true nationalist and fanatic, indoctrinated with Nazi ideals and eager to serve his country during the war. That's why he's joining Jungvolk, the junior section of the Hitler Youth, along with his friend Yorkie. They spend the entire weekend at a camp run by Captain Klenzendorf, his second-in-command Freddie Finkel, and Fraulein Rahm, who oversees the League of German Girls. The boys are given kid-sized uniforms and a special dagger before being sent off to experience a variety of activities like grenade throwing, trench digging, map reading, and gas defense, among others. At least the boys are. The girls are taught to dress wounds, make beds, and learn how to get pregnant. Jojo excels in activities like describing Jewish people and burning books, but when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, he gets scared and sneaks away, catching the attention of the older boys. When it's time to learn how to kill, the teens notice Jojo's hesitation and put a rabbit in his arms, asking him to demonstrate. Jojo insists he isn't scared, but he still can't bring himself to do it, so he tries to let the rabbit go. One of the teen boys grabs it before it can escape and kills it himself, then mocks Jojo for being too soft. Since he's scared like a little rabbit, they start calling him Jojo Rabbit, which upsets him and causes him to run into the woods. While crying on a tree root, imaginary Hitler shows up and tells him that rabbits are actually brave. They go out into the wild every day to get their carrots and have to be sneaky to survive. Encouraged to become a mighty rabbit, Jojo runs back to camp where Klenzendorf is teaching kids how to throw grenades. Jojo passes by, steals a grenade right out of his hand, and runs into the woods, where he throws it so badly that it bounces off a tree and lands at his feet, exploding in his face. Jojo falls unconscious but has blurry memories of people carrying him to the hospital and his mother, Rosie Betzler, visiting him. He wakes up days later in his room, noticing a limp in his leg and the scars on his face when he looks in the mirror. His mother comes in to hug him and remind him that she's still there, even if his father is gone and his sister Inge has died. After dressing him in his uniform again, Rosie takes Jojo back to the Jungvolk headquarters where they find Klenzendorf awkwardly feeding Finkel. Though he's been demoted for negligence, Rosie still knees him in the groin and slaps him with her glove, demanding he give Jojo a job, any job that makes him feel included. Jojo is tasked with putting up propaganda posters and delivering conscriptions, which he does with great enthusiasm. One afternoon, while working, he finds his mother staring at a group of people hanged in the town square. When Jojo asks what they did, she simply replies, "What they could." Later that day, Jojo returns home to find his mother missing and hears strange noises coming from his sister's room. Investigating, he discovers a weird mark on the floor leading up the wall. He inserts his knife into it and opens a hidden section of the wall. Behind it, there's a crawlspace filled with scattered belongings. At the end of the crawlspace, he's shocked to find a young girl, Elsa Kor. She follows him as he runs screaming around the house. Catching him at the front door, she pins him against the wall, reveals she's Jewish, and explains that Rosie invited her to hide in the house. If Jojo tells anyone, she'll claim he and his mother helped her, which would get them all killed. After she returns to her hiding spot, Jojo panics and consults imaginary Hitler. Deciding to negotiate, he arms himself with a kitchen knife and a pot for protection, then returns to tell Elsa she should find somewhere else to hide. She scares him again, takes the knife, and kicks him out of the room. Jojo consults Hitler once more and they agree he should make Elsa feel safe so she'll let her guard down. When Rosie comes home that night, Jojo tells her he heard noises upstairs, but she brushes it off as rats. After putting Jojo to bed, Rosie visits Elsa and tells her to be more careful. If anything happens, she can't choose Elsa over her own son. She also reminds Elsa, as long as there's even one person still alive out there, they're losing. The next day, Jojo goes to the pool for leg therapy and spots Klenzendorf and Finkel sitting close together, clearly nervous around Rosie. After Rosie leaves, Jojo asks what to do if he finds a Jewish person. Klenzendorf says to call the Gestapo. They'll kill the person and anyone who helped them. When Jojo asks how to even identify a Jewish person, Klenzendorf admits he doesn't know either and jokes that someone should write a book about it. Inspired, Jojo tells Elsa she can stay as long as she gives him intel for his exposé on Jewish people. She sarcastically says Jews are money-loving demons who are allergic to food. When Jojo starts lecturing about the superiority of the Aryan race, Elsa grabs him, covers his mouth, and tells him there's nothing weak about Jewish people before returning to her hiding spot. That evening, Rosie burns papers in the fireplace, pours wine, and dances around joyfully. The Allies have taken Italy and France is next. Jojo argues with her for being anti-Germany, but she ends the conversation and tells him to eat. She doesn't eat, saying she's not hungry, and Jojo suspects she's saving food for Elsa. He complains that his father would understand, so Rosie puts on her husband's jacket, paints a beard on her face, and scolds Jojo in his father's voice, reminding him that she's doing the best she can. Then she turns up the music and dances with him. The next day, Jojo gives Elsa a pencil and paper to draw where Jewish people live and where Jewish women lay their eggs. She draws a picture of Jojo's own head, saying that's where Jews live. Elsa also talks about her fiancé, Nathan, who is fighting with the resistance. Jojo writes a fake breakup letter from Nathan and reads it to Elsa. She doesn't believe it, but it still hurts her. Regretting it, Jojo later writes another letter where Nathan takes it all back and says he still loves her. Elsa thanks him and asks for more letters in the future. They play a game to name famous people from each side. Elsa wins when she brings up Jesus. Later, Rosie takes Jojo on a walk by the riverbank, remembering when the area was full of people dancing and in love. Jojo dismisses all that as silly. Rosie believes kids shouldn't be involved in politics, they should be playing and climbing trees. Everyone should dance, it's a sign of freedom. Jojo still doesn't get it and rides off on his bike with Rosie chasing him. They spot a truck of returning soldiers looking defeated. Back home, Jojo finds Elsa and warms up to her as she tells him ridiculous fantasy stories about her people. Imaginary Hitler scolds him for growing fond of her. Rosie later tells Elsa she's happy to have her in the house and that she's glad to see her grow into a woman, something she never got to see within G. At Jungvolk headquarters, Jojo tells Klenzendorf and Finkel about his ex-passé. They laugh it off. Klenzendorf shows him flamboyant uniform designs and sends him to collect scrap metal for the war. While out in the streets dressed as a robot, Jojo sees his mother handing out anti-Nazi flyers and meets Yorkie, now officially a soldier. When Jojo tells him he's captured a Jewish person, Yorkie says he saw one in the forest and doesn't get why it's a big deal. At home, Jojo gives Elsa colored pencils but reminds her that it's illegal for a Nazi and a Jew to be friends. Elsa points out that he's not really a Nazi, just a lonely boy trying to fit in. One evening, Elsa takes a bath and borrows Ng's clothes. As they're about to eat dinner, there's a knock at the door. Elsa hides. Jojo opens it to find Gestapo officers led by Hermann Diertz, followed closely by Klenzendorf and Finkel. The Gestapo begins searching the house and questioning Jojo. Elsa appears pretending to be Ng and hands over Ng's ID. When asked for her birthday, she guesses correctly, or so it seems. Klenzendorf lets it slide. Diertz finds Jojo's ex-passé and laughs at the anti-Semitic drawings, but Elsa is heartbroken when she sees a section describing brutal ways for Nathan to die. After the Gestapo leaves, Klenzendorf discreetly returns Elsa's ID and Jojo's knife. Elsa reveals the birthday she gave was incorrect, meaning Klenzendorf helped cover for them. Still hurt by Jojo's book, Elsa says they can't be friends. Hitler yells at Jojo for sympathizing with a Jew. While out, Jojo finds Rosie's body hanging in the public square. Devastated, he clings to her legs and cries, trying to tie her shoes just like he couldn't before. After hours of grief, he returns home and attempts to stab Elsa, blaming her for Rosie's death. She stops him and he breaks down crying. She comforts him and explains that Rosie was in the resistance. His father is too, but Rosie told Jojo the opposite to protect him. Elsa also confesses her parents were taken to a concentration camp. Now it's just the two of them. As the city crumbles, Jojo scavenges for food. He and Elsa settle into a quiet routine, sharing meals and letters from Nathan. One afternoon, the Allies begin their offensive. Hitler has killed himself. Jojo finds Yorkie now carrying weapons as even children are sent to fight. Jojo confesses his Jewish prisoner is now kind of his girlfriend. Yorkie tells him he's met the Russians and the Japanese and they're worse than the Jews. Ram appears and gives Jojo a uniform jacket to avoid friendly fire. A bomb explodes, chaos breaks out, and Jojo watches everyone fight, kids, elders, even Klenzendorf and Finkel in their flamboyant uniforms. Jojo hides until it's over. When things calm down, the Americans raise their flag. Soviet soldiers seize all Nazis, including Diertz. Seeing Jojo's jacket, they capture him too. Klenzendorf, also taken, tells Jojo to take care of his sister. Then he pulls off Jojo's jacket and spits at him, calling him a Jew, getting Jojo released just before he's taken to be executed. On his way home, Jojo finds Yorkie, who's going to see his mother. Yorkie mentions Jojo, girlfriend, is free now. Afraid Elsa might leave, Jojo rushes home and lies, telling her Germany won the war. After flipping through his book and seeing drawings of his mother and a rabbit in a cage, he writes one last letter from Nathan, saying he has a plan to sneak her out of the city. Elsa finally admits Nathan died of tuberculosis the previous year, but the letters comforted her. Jojo confesses he loves her, though she only sees him as a brother. Still, he wants to help her. Imaginary Hitler tries one last time to convince Jojo to stop, but Jojo stands up to him, literally kicking him out the window. Elsa is hesitant to leave, but Jojo encourages her. As she finally steps outside, a car with the American flag drives past. Realizing he lied, Elsa slaps Jojo, but when wondering what to do next, they dance to celebrate their freedom.